amid some unusual developments with a pipeline that connects Germany and Russia and a host of other players. The Nord Stream pipeline that some say is spilling a leak, but it might be more, well, it looks curious, to put it mildly, that it might be sabotage. General Jack Keane joins us right now. What he makes of these developments. Out of nowhere, this gas leak has prompted talk that there was nothing wrong with it until this friction with Russia built over what was shut down and how long it was shut down, and now this. What do you make of it, General?
Well, certainly Nord Stream 2 never really got started, although it's capable, and one got shut down by the Russians. But now there's supposedly a couple of leaks, particularly in number one in the Danish and Swedish area. And the people who have looked at it are quite suspicious of it, thinking it may indeed be sabotage. We'd probably be dismissive of something like that if Mr. Putin wasn't a player here. And given the fact that he is, and certainly that he wants to put pressure on Europe as the winter's coming, he wants them to get shut down in terms of their energy supplies. And certainly his intent is to sort of break their will somewhat because of the suffering of their people and curb their support for the Ukrainians. That's what this is about. That's why he's brandishing nuclear weapons, likely for the same reason, to reduce and minimize the support that the Ukrainians are receiving from arms and munitions, but also economic support and enforcing the sanctions. Putin has always been of the mind, Neil, that at some point the Europeans will buckle. Their self-interest will prevail, as they have in the past, and they will cut off, to some degree, the support for the Ukraine. He's counting on that to happen as part of his strategy. But listen, surprisingly, the EU has held together here. NATO, writ large, has pretty much held together. Of course, the United States and Britain are providing 75% of the support. But nonetheless, the Europeans have showed some resolve and determination, the exception being the Germans and the French.
Yeah, and we should stress, and you're quite right to point out the difference between Nord Stream and Nord Stream 2. And of course, it's this Nord Stream one that's the one in question here, and over European lands, not Russian lands, that the leak occurred that raised these first concerns. And I'm just wondering, and you raised a very good point, if not for some of the Eastern European, so-called Eastern European old bloc countries, support among the traditional Western powers, like Germany and France, they talk a good game, but they haven't delivered a good game. What do you make of that?
Well, I think the former Soviet republics, which make up largely Eastern Europe today, many of them part of NATO, they've lived in this communist rule. They don't want any part of it. And they certainly feel that at some point Putin may indeed threaten them, particularly the Baltic states, the three of them, and Poland. I've spoken to the director of Poland's National Security Bureau here in Washington, D.C. He's from Poland, but he wanted to talk to me about it. And I was really, he inspired me. He said, General, I just want you to know that we're fighting a war, as far as we're concerned, with Russia that we thought we were going to fight a number of years down the road. And the Ukrainians are fighting the war, and we're giving them tanks and fighting vehicles from our operational units. We're depleting our units because we have the opportunity to defeat the Russian army in Ukraine. And that is why we're all in and we're taking the risks that we are taking. Because if the Ukrainians are able to win this war with our help, we will not have to fight the Russians later. That is their point, and I believe that is absolutely the right answer when it comes to supporting the Ukrainians.
General, thank you. Very good catching up with you on this and these latest bizarre developments, but they keep piling up. Thank you for that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.